Technology today comes with sales demos, sales pressure, and a lot of smoke and mirrors. Why can't we just get our hands on a platform, try it out, and then if we have any questions, reach out to a vendor? This is common in the tech space, and it's a problem. Hey, everybody. I am David Morrow, your host, and we invite you to join us as we unravel vendor management best practices in this upcoming episode. We're going to delve into the strategic mindset of two cybersecurity leaders, Mariana Padilla and Craig Ellrod, co-founders of Kicker, link in the show notes. And we're going to give you inside access to this new method they've created, which is changing the way we work and engage with vendors. We're going to cover topics like vendor management best practices, how to buy cyber today, and top ways to improve security vendor management. And our exclusive discussion with them will enlighten, inspire, and equip you with the leadership prowess needed. So join us as we embark on this journey toward impactful cyber leadership. This is the story of Craig Ellrod and his vision to change the way the world buys technology. Come join us as we dive deeper behind the scenes of security and cybercrime today, interviewing top technology leaders from around the world and sharing true cybercrime stories to raise awareness. From the creators of Vigilance, the newest global technology newsletter, translating cyber news into business language we all understand. So please help us keep this going by subscribing for free to our YouTube channel and downloading our podcast episodes on Apple and Spotify so we can continue to bring you more of what matters. This is Cybercrime Junkies, and now the show. We have in the studio always positive, always reassuring sidekick on my chopper in that little thing, because I still love that visual.
Sidecar junkie,
right? And I always look for insincere things to say to coworkers using that app that we developed.
A very efficient application.
I don't have it, but the Mark Mosher. Mark, how are you today?
Oh, what a fantastic day, David. Tell everybody who we have in the studio with us, because this is going to be an exciting ride. So lace up those tennis shoes tight, buckle in. We're getting ready to go.
We have got Craig Ellrod, co-founder of Hackerverse and Kicker. We're going to find out more on that later. And Craig's been around the industry for 20, 30 years, well known at DEF CON and other phenomenal environments, B-sides, you name it. We're excited to have you here, Craig.
Thank you.
We also have Maria Padilla, and she is a founder and CEO of Kicker, and has a whole storied history within the cybersecurity community, and we're excited about hearing more of that. Welcome, everybody.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
Well, that's great. So, ladies first. Mariana. Yes, Mariana. So now, Craig, wait your
He immediately
turn,
jumps in.
We're trying to, as we talked before we went live, we're trying not to get banned in the first 30 seconds.
Mariana, why did you even invite me? You should have just done this yourself.
It's all right. I have had Mosher on for a year and we haven't gotten blocked. So,
well, that's not completely true.
No, it is not completely. We've gotten a couple letters, so
we had a couple cease and desist.
Right. Yeah, it's okay. All right. So Mariana, what is Kicker?
Yeah,
walk us through
absolutely.
what it is, what's the mission behind it, and then how did you all get started?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I guess 10,000 foot view, Kicker is an automated demo marketplace for cybersecurity software, really trying to fix what is the problem with the cybersecurity sales process, which, I'm sure we'll be delving more into in this episode. On the vendor side, funnels are dry, close rates are low, lots of challenges, hard to really differentiate your product in this really crowded and going to continue to be crowded marketplace. And on the buyer side, statistics show that they're doing all their their research. They don't want to talk to sales until they absolutely have to. And so that's where we come in. We're bringing, giving buyers more autonomy in the process to come in and kick the tires on cyber tooling on their own time, whenever they want. I think I can kind of, this would be a good segue to Craig here, who this is his original brainchild, but really I came on because I've lived the pain of purchasing enterprise software, and all I wanted to be able to do was come in and touch and feel the software. That's it. I just wanted to be able to come in and just see it and explore it. And I didn't want to talk to a salesperson, like no shade on salesperson, but like, you know, I just wanted to be able to explore it without like this whole production. And so when Craig told me what he was building, I instantly got it. But Craig, I'm going to hand it off to you. How did you come up with this idea, Mr. Craig?
Yeah, good idea. I mean, good question. Yeah, so poor Mariana, she had no experience in cyber, so I said, "Hey, you want to do the CEO thing?" She said, "Yeah,
sure, why not? Right, makes sense."
Get myself into. Well, I don't know. So I've been doing technical marketing for 23 years now, and I was thinking about this, even back before I moved from Southern California to Silicon Valley. There was this light bulb that went off in my head about this thing called technical marketing. And I instantly knew in my heart and my gut that this was going to be something that would be big. And so now we're finally at the point where we can take that, the art of that, which is basically sell the sizzle, and put it into a product and a platform that other people can take advantage of and use. And everything's coming together in that regard, right? Like, so that, the go-to-market process is broken. Technical marketing can help with that. We can't demo software. Technical marketing does that. There's just so many problems that we can solve. I was actually building you can see my light board over here. I thought this is cool, but it needs to be virtual. So I built an online virtual. We use it in our Hackerverse episodes. It's called QuickBoard, but it has neon colors, really cool. And so I built that, and I'm trying to think, well, how am I going to monetize this? And there's some, did some research, kept pushing, plugging. Like, well, everybody has a whiteboard and they're giving it away for free, so that's not a market. Anyways, I just, I had been building these demos at previous employers as a pre-sales solution architect to show it off, to show off the product and how it works and how it's
and to compare vendors, right?
Yeah, compare vendors. And one of the guys on the sales team said, "Hey, that's awesome, dude. Do more of that." And then the light bulb went on. QuickBoard demo. Oh my God, I can do this. We can totally do this. Everything's in the cloud. Everything's a repo. We can automate everything, and we can make it happen. So that's when the light bulb went on, and it's just been not a roller coaster, but what's the one where it spins you around and you throw up? It's one of those.
Gravitron.
Yeah.
The Gravitron.
Yes, that
Tilt-a-whirl.
Gravitron.
Tilt-a-whirl.
Brain screw, right? But it's been fun, and here we are.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And so this allows organizations that are considering various layers of security, right? To kind of get in a sandbox and to demo them without being hounded and being yapped at by salespeople.
Yep. I think the other thing that we are doing, and you mentioned Hackerverse when we first came on. That is our community, and so what we really know about cybersecurity is that it is a very unique industry. I think for a lot of folks in it, it's more of a lifestyle. I know that to be true. I mean, DEF CON is a cultural experience, and so. We've been able to, bring together a group of folks, practitioners and risk executives all together into our community who, are along for the ride and giving them access to the marketplace. But then the other thing that we're doing as well that is causing a lot of excitement is our World Hacker Games events. And so these are pretty revolutionary because essentially what we do is spotlight vendor products in these live CTF arena environments and see how they perform in real time. And so when you get on a demo with a vendor, it's a canned attack. They know exactly what's going to happen. There's nothing special about it. And I think really until now, there hasn't been a reason for vendors to have to put their money where their mouth is and say, our product works and this is how it works. And we're going to show you. But I think with, security budgets under scrutiny, macroeconomic stuff happening, I think, for the first time, there's really an impetus for vendors to have to do that. And so that's our solution.
And let me ask you this. Didn't the vendors kind of do it to themselves in a sense? Because they would because if you, in addition to DEF CON and B-sides where like the OG cyber people are, right? You go to Black Hat and like you have every vendor there. That's more like a Disney World for business owners. And you go there and
Well, like
every
their
vendor is
absolute
like,
statements.
buy our box. It
Right.
is pure
Social engineering
security.
solved.
Like,
We're the first. We're the world's
Yes.
first.
yeah,
We
we're the
protect
leading,
all
like,
the things and all the places all the time, 100% of the time.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
we are everywhere all the time, all the things. And you're like, it's this thing on this one layer. You're like, you're not everywhere. Like, what? And it's really a challenge because people are intimidated by cybersecurity, or they don't get it, or they don't understand it, or frankly, they just think it's technical and they don't understand it. And it's really about people, and it's about just layers. And sure, it's about technology, but it's not coming out of a box. I mean, we're part of InfoGuard. Like, you guys don't know Mark and I real well, but we've been doing these security presentations, public speaking for 10 years. We've done them alongside FBI agents, Department of Homeland Security, and it's nothing. We don't talk about we're an MSSP. We've got our own SOC, but we don't talk about ourselves. We don't talk about, we just purely go and train.
Yeah.
But what we explain to business owners, because it's not a product. Like, this is about creating a culture. It's about developing on a process. It's about like a maturity scale. Different organizations have different regulations or not regulated, but they still have a different risk appetite, right? And so we just kind of help them guide along, and we're vendor agnostic. Like, we're kind of, we get hit on by vendors every single day. I send my team all this stuff. I'm like, here's another vendor that has no idea what we do, that is reaching out and wanting to send me a gift, right? And I'm like, what are we doing, guys? Like, I don't. It's so my question, that was didn't mean to go into a diatribe there, but the issue is the industry kind of did it to himself in a sense, didn't they?
Yeah, no, I mean, they absolutely did. And I think, one of the conversations Craig and I had, and he can touch on this, was that, one of the demos that he was he was building in this product that they were offering said they were protecting against the Log4j vulnerability. And the demo proved that it didn't. Craig, I'm sure you can give more to that story.
No, Craig, you got to be kidding me.
So here we go. Yeah, well, you're saying that sarcastically, I hope. In fact, this is when the light went on when I was building a demo for an EDR vendor. When I was at a different
This shall remain unnamed.
This shall go unnamed.
I could see the lawsuits coming.
Right.
But, I built this demo on a very well-known CVE, Eternal Blue, and I sat there and I did the attack, and I watched the command and control, and I got a connection to the Windows box, and then I'm looking at the console, so maybe it's slow. No, it didn't catch it. And it was a very well-known CV. And then all of a sudden, so they went to a different product, different vendor, said, oh, they got it. They blocked it. So I'm like, wait a minute. Something's wrong. And then think, oh my God, how many more vendors build something and they will come, oh, but we never really tested it against all those attacks. We don't talk about those.
Right.
And so here we are, and that's what we're doing. And really the end goal is not to throw mud in people's faces, but let's face it, we need better accuracy, right? Like, if you're going to go into an EDR market, you better be really accurate, because there's people, there's lives. I mean, the hospitals are getting shut down, right? So there's lives at stake, and we got to be more accurate. And it's really what we're trying.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, that's a really great point.
Yeah, I mean, we just interviewed someone on our own podcast last night who's like literally in the trenches doing the work, protecting our infrastructure, our electric grids, protecting our ports, protecting our water systems. Like, he is literally doing the work to protect the things that we just take for granted every day. And I think, we take it for granted, but we need to do a better job, because like Craig said, it really matters. Like, it matters so much. And I think, you're talking about the industry doing it to itself. It absolutely does. And part of it is the communication problem. they are using all this jargon, they're making all these claims, they're saying all these things, and maybe some people understand what they're saying, but they're also leaving behind a huge swath of businesses, the small medium businesses in the United States that are the backbone of our economy. I've worked with a lot of them. They don't know anything about cybersecurity. When I ask them what they're doing to protect themselves, it's like, I don't know, hoping for the best, or I tell them to start researching, and they're like, oh my God, it's so scary, I don't know. So, there's a lot of challenges. And I think, a huge piece of that is the communication piece of things.
Well, to me, that's the biggest risk. And that's the space that we live in, is the SMB, more the medium of the SMB space, not really the micro, but still they all have security concerns. They just don't know what to do. They don't know if what they're doing is right. And sometimes, it's been driven by vendors. Like some of them are like, well, we got this EDR platform, but my network IT guy is going to run it. And I'm like, he going to work 24/7? You got a SOC? Or like, how are you doing this? And it's none of that, but they went to some trade show and he was impressed. And then the one they got, if you look at like the MITRE Ingenuity thing, right, which is a good little sandbox, right? It's like, wow, they got a horrible one. Like you're just like, oh my gosh, like, but they don't know, right? They just don't know, and they want help.
Well, that's why I think it's a gap between the organizations, the companies, and the vendors. That there's an educational piece that's being missed. Like we have to,
100%.
as a community, we have to help them understand the threat environment, the landscape. And you can't go get a prescription before you even go to the doctor, right? Like you just don't go buy something. Let's understand your current state and where you need to be or where you want to be, what your risk appetite is. And let's look, how do we get you there? Don't just go buy something. Please don't do that. Well, as David said, you may sandbox it and look at it and be like, oh my God, you got like the worst one on Gartner's Magic Quadrant. Like, what did you do?
Right.
Did you not research?
And then they flush like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars down the foot.
And then they're too committed. They're too deep in. They can't change, or they're in a 3-year contract or something ridiculous. No, I think there's a big educational piece that's sometimes overlooked and people don't consider. And I think that's really part of the journey for the consumer is you got to understand it before you make a move, right?
Yeah. Well, it's funny. It's interesting that you say that because that's something that we've really thought about. So on our marketplace now, we're really targeting, mid-size and enterprise buyers. And, these folks know the challenges of purchasing software. They've lived it. They hate it. They don't ever want to have to go through the traditional sales process again. So that's like low-hanging fruit for us. But understanding that also, I think there's going to be a lot of growth in the small, medium business market as we move forward. So that's something we're actually considering, like how can we embed educational content in the marketplace for those buyers? Because exactly what you said, you can't just send them to our marketplace and let them loose in, our demo environment because they'll be like, what the hell is this? I don't even know.
Right. Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Anyway, yes, agreed.
Well, there's a lot of no-cost security awareness and that help bring them to a sense of need. And maybe that's something you can integrate into your platform, right? Like you can, like for like an SMB booth, right? And then they can go there and they can learn about some of the cyber attacks. And they like one of the, it's a small healthcare organization in Kansas, in like 45 minutes outside of Wichita. They're like, they're not going to get us. I'm like, they're going to get you.
They're going to get you.
They're coming
let us
for
explain.
you.
Like, I'll show you 15 ways, and I'm not very skilled, and I can do it. So let me show you. And so we want to just kind of like just bring them to the realization, not just FUD, right? Not just fear, uncertainty, doubt, but also like, okay, now that we recognize it, what are some of the things you can do? What can you do at no cost? What can we find you? Open source things you can do. What are some of the things you may want to plan on investing in? Like what comes next? And it's that whole like evolution. Yeah. So I want to ask some questions of the person in the room who has been known as the king of technical marketing.
Oh,
published
okay.
author.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
He's a published author, a daydreamer, an inventor, and a walking incubator of cool ideas that bring fun and
wow.
excitement to the business.
And
Craig
for a
got
low fee of
tired.
$10, you can get introduced this way on every Zoom meeting you attend.
Craig got tired of the brain playing tricks on him, so he went into marketing and sales, and then marketing again with his latest venture, Kicker. But Craig, one of the things I want to wait. Does it say? And I wish you could see what I'm reading. Does it say like you like rap music and going to the gym with your two sons?
Whatever we're doing.
Who
that
wrote
week,
this?
changes
First of
all
all,
the time.
did Moshe write this for you? Like, who wrote this?
Well,
I
that's,
let Craig write his own bio. There we go. There's the answer.
that's the last time that happened. So that's where the author comes in. There's stuff in here that makes it down my arms into the keyboard that rarely comes out of my mouth because
Right.
they're not connected. I don't know. So weird stuff happens all the time. And in fact, I have such bad ADHD that Mariana teases me about it, and, and points out other people that have it worse than me.
I do.
She's, and that's why she's the CEO. She's like, oh, stop.
Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane.
Right.
You've got great ideas, but let's focus on something.
Let's
so
complete
she's there
one
for a
of them.
reason. And no, my brain's crazy. It's always on fire.
Well, I love it. Here's a couple insights. So, read all about you beforehand. Was really excited about this time that we have together to do this. And this won't be the only time we talk, by the way. So we're gonna we're gonna do a panel. We're gonna do because I have a prediction. I've got a prediction for 2024. Things are going to get a little worse. There you go. You've had it. You heard it here first.
You think? I don't
That's
know.
it.
I feel like you're going on a limb here.
We're going into a presidential election year. Everybody's skilled up. We got AI now. Like this is going to be a fun year. Like it's
according to our guest last night, cyber attacks are at 47% just this year. So there you go.
Yeah, like any data, I always like roll my eyes whenever I hear that because I'm like. I heard because yesterday we had a guest on and they said 27%.
27.
I'm like, are we just all basically
margin of error 20 to 50?
Are we just all kind of like making up our own numbers and going breaches because we can find the data to justify.
But you know what the common denominator is among that data set? It's all going up.
It's all up.
It's all going up.
It's true. Yeah, there's no denying that.
So one thing I want to ask, and this is why I love cybersecurity. It's a great field. I'll tell you, LinkedIn is not just for job searching anymore. Like it's got great content. It's got great news sources. It's got great community, especially the cybersecurity community.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Some company lets go of one of the people in cybersecurity. We're all like, hey, kid, whoa, we got one. Like help them out. Like, and you see it in just a few weeks later or a month later, boom, they've found a place. Like everybody rallies. It's really cool. It's really
I love that.
I do too. And I love that there's a bigger purpose than us, right?
Yes,
like
thank you.
it is, I think 9/11 spurned a lot of people toward like protecting the country. And I think that other people that have come from military or just patriotic families, like they go into it. And I see all the people from marketing going into cybersecurity. Because for me, there's great opportunities. That's me. Like
we've got a great example of that right here.
Yeah, I'm studying for the CISSP. Like I might take the test, I might not. It won't matter because I've never managed a SOC and I'm never gonna. So I'm probably not going to even get the certificate. Right? I'm never going to get the CISSP, but I want to study it because it's a great high level. Like going deep dive. It's great. There's so many opportunities for like intellectual pursuits, social. It's got it all. It's
that's why I'm working on my GED too. That's why I'm doing it.
Yeah. As soon as he gets that, we're gonna give him his network.
There's another term. There's another term floating around called the creator economy.
Yeah.
And it's like we are in the position to make that explode because as if you go to DEF CON, you'll see it. I mean, it's just full of art and creativity. And,
Yes, I love
and
that.
I think the merging of that with technology, things are going to get weird. They're going to get
Well, how
cool.
many of us, like, also, I have like 7 electric guitars over there. I've got amps, I got music studio. Like, we're just creators, right?
Yes.
Like, we're just creators. And
We are.
and
yeah.
that coupled with technology, coupled with a bigger purpose, like, that's a good mix, right?
Mhm.
Like, it's
You know,
it's
that's
really
interesting. It's all the people that we talk to, and you guys could probably relate to this. It seems like the ones that are really passionate about cybersecurity and helping have that true sense of a higher calling, right? There's a bigger
Mhm.
purpose. We're not
Yeah.
just doing this because it's a profession and we got to make a living, we got to earn
Right.
something.
No.
It's like there's something driving those individuals, those that are really leading the pack and really pushing the envelope. They have that
Yeah.
higher calling.
I
I don't know.
completely
Maybe
agree.
that's just kind of the way I
Yeah.
see it, though.
No, I completely agree. When I was running my marketing agency, I only worked with, so it was specifically B2B service providers. Smaller businesses was our target market, but specifically those who considered themselves to be values led. So they were, working on sustainability or like social justice or whatever, because I just could not market things that I did not give a shit about it. I just couldn't.
Right, right.
I had like a subcontract for timeshares, and I was like, oh my God, I am not
You're like,
passionate about marketing
no.
timeshares. But now that I've kind of fallen into cybersecurity, which I'm very, very, very grateful to be here. Like, I was just having a conversation with someone yesterday. She was like, "Why cybersecurity?" I'm like, "These are the unsung heroes. Like, y'all,
Yeah.
like, there's Marvel, and then like we're like Marvel, okay?
Yes,
You don't recognize the work that is being done to protect you and your lifestyle and everything that you hold near and dear. And also, I just love rooting for the underdog, and I consider us to be underdogs.
Yep.
People like
Well,
just take us
absolutely.
for granted,
Well,
and so I don't know. I love it.
it's
There you
it's
go.
like the Wild West too. When you saw
It
like
is.
Black Hat go down last weekend and stuff, you're kind of like, ooh, like we were watching, we were like, holy cow, this is like it's so interesting. And then they're back up and everything's fine. We're like, yeah, sure, right? It's so interesting. It's like the Wild West. And to
It
me, and I'm sure you guys know John DiMaggio with Analyst One. He went undercover.
With Lockbit.
Yeah, investigated Lockbit, wrote ransomware diaries, got exposed. Lockbit took his picture and
They
put
took his
it as
profile
their
pic.
avatar on the dark web. Like, you gotta love some of the personalities involved here. It's like dealing with, Gotti back in the day, where you've got these organized crime units, but you've got these personalities. And the other families are like, we don't want the exposure, but you got the guys out in the front going, we love attention, like bring us
Yeah.
attention, and then you just kind of watch them fly too close to the sun and get taken down. So I'd like us to try a segment. I'm going to be respectful of time, so we'll just do this for about 5-10 minutes. But it is our new segment. It is brand culture trivia.
Okay.
We have. Are you guys able to see my screen? You may not
yet.
be able to. In final editing, it'll look great. I promise you. But let me try and do this. Let me try and share my screen and see if I can do this.
I'll probably be horrible at this, but that's okay.
Oh, it'll be fun.
No,
Trust
it will be
me.
fun.
It'll be great.
Yeah.
We're gonna love
It'll
it.
be awesome.
I'm going to do this to share audio.
Mark disappeared.
Share a
Good job.
tab.
Oh, he's back.
I had to open up Google so I could research the answers.
All
I always like to
I
win.
don't know that I'm going to be able to share the audio, so I might have to just edit it in myself. But I'm going to share it with you guys, so that I can do this. Let me see.
Yeah, as the great American theologian once said, "If you ain't first, you're last." That would be
Oh, my
Ricky
Lord.
Bobby.
Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, so
The sweet baby Jesus.
So
I'm going to play something. Tell me if you guys can hear this. The video is great, and when you see it in the final episode, it'll be fantastic. But here, let's see if you can hear this. You guys able to hear that?
if you're playing something, no, I'm not hearing it.
All right. Well, okay.
Crickets.
gonna insert the segment right there. But it's a really cool intro video, and it is welcoming everybody to Brand Culture Trivia, where the points don't matter, but the brand does. Okay.
Okay.
I am going to say a brand slogan. You guys are going to tell me what that is. You can guess as many guesses as you want. Guess as fast as you want. The first one to guess the correct answer wins, and the first one to 3 points wins the game.
Okay.
Mark,
What's the prize?
let me tell you what the prize is.
A virtual high five.
The winner of the prize wins 14,684 Brandology bucks. Let me tell you.
Whoa, what's that worth?
Absolutely
Is that like cryptocurrency?
It's worth absolutely nothing. It's our
Dogecoin.
It's our new form of tokenism that we will go ahead and we might give you guys a sticker for playing.
You
All
get a free
right.
bumper sticker.
But all right, so are you guys
Okay.
ready? Let's do a little
Ready.
brand culture trivia. We'll make them pretty simple. This is one of the first ones. Okay, the happiest place on earth.
Oh,
Disney.
McDonald's.
No, come on.
Disneyland.
man. You got to give us a challenge.
Disney.
Okay,
Is it really?
I have a story.
1
behind
point.
That, but we won't go there.
Oh, no.
1 point, Mariana. 1 point.
Disneyland.
I believe she got that one right.
I love branding, so this is like my jam. This is
Oh.
like
Okay,
we're
well,
in.
I'm gonna go to my level 2 then.
All right,
okay.
go intermediate.
Uh-oh.
Because you're worth it.
Revlon.
No.
Dove.
No. You're close.
Secret?
Chrysler. I don't know.
American Express.
What?
The phrase "because you're worth it" turned 50 back in 2021, and its inception is much nicer story. In 1971, it was 23-year-old copywriter Elon Specht at the advertising agency of McCann who wrote the slogan for this beauty company.
It is beautiful.
Revlon.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Who is it?
Beauty company.
Revlon.
Yes.
Revlon.
Was it really?
No.
No, not
You've
Revlon.
guessed Revlon 3 times. Each time it's wrong, but keep
That's 3
guessing
negative
it.
points you get every
Maybelline?
time. you do it.
Am I going negative at this point?
Yes.
CoverGirl.
Yes.
Maybelline. CoverGirl. Okay, we just got to go
All
down
right,
the list.
The
What do we got?
answer is L'Oreal.
Oh, okay.
L'Oreal,
All
because you're worth it, L'Oreal. Well done, well done.
right. Okay.
All right, here is another one. These are so fun.
This is fun. I like this.
Shave time, shave money.
McDonald's.
Gillette.
Dude,
What?
who shaves at McDonald's?
I thought you said save time. Like the
Shave
drive-through
time.
fast
Shave.
food.
No,
Shave
that's
money.
a break today.
Is it Gillette?
It is
Revlon.
not Gillette.
What are
Revlon.
the others?
I will give you a hint. It has
Remington.
one of the best YouTube ads on the planet.
Oh,
He
Shave
knows.
time. Shave.
He knows.
Dollar Shaver. Shave a dollar.
Yes,
Shave,
Dollar
Dollar
Shave
Shave
Club.
Club. Okay.
Oh.
For listeners and viewers, we will have the link to that video too in the
It's
show
awesome.
So
notes.
it's all the
because
one marketing agency. It's Raindrop Marketing, I think, or either Rain Marketing, and they also do Dr. Squatch. They do the Manscaper.
You are correct.
Yes.
You are correct.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. He's got like the dancing bear. He's like blowing things. He's like it was just fantastic. So all right, Craig with 1. I'm keeping score with
All right,
our,
Craig.
Yeah, we have a lot of complex.
Are you just going to guess
technology working
Revlon
on
for
this.
everything, Mark?
It seems
Negative
applicable,
Revlon.
right? It's
Mark's at -5.
Hey.
Every
I'm
time
gonna
he says
over-
Revlon, he loses a point.
I'm
New
gonna have
rule.
to pay Brandology bucks.
All right.
Sorry, Dean. Sorry,
The snack that smiles back.
Goldfish.
Wow.
Oh,
Pepperidge
Boom.
Farms.
almost had
And
them.
with 2. The snack that smiles back. Our goldfish crackers launched as they shape cracker into goldfish shapes instead of squares or circles, easier to manufacture. See,
There was
I
a
never
whole like one
marketing
of those
genius.
History
Look at
Channel
this. Yeah.
reimagining. It was like this lady who was baking bread during the Great Depression to like feed her family
I think she
in
was on
Pepperidge
mushrooms.
Farm.
Wow.
Well, she came Pepperidge Farms, and then she
Wow.
went to like Europe, brought back the recipe for like fancy Milano cookies. There you go, History Channel,
There
whole
we go.
history of Pepperidge Farms. Now I can say that served me well.
Wow.
There we go.
I feel smarter for just being here.
I know, right?
The next one.
This is the edutainment channel.
Don't leave
Edutainment.
home without it.
Ooh, Diners Club.
American
No,
Express.
because it's not a movie from the 50s, Mark. Now, who uses Diners Club? Like,
I've still got the
Express?
card. Where's my wallet? I've still
You
got the
got, like,
card.
You still
Visa?
have it? Oh my
I've
god!
still got
Tony
the Diners
Bennett.
Club.
Tony Bennett,
Tony
Frank
Bennett.
Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr.
The whole
They're
Rat
there
Pack.
with their
Yeah, we all
Diners
had
Club.
one. Yeah, we all had one.
Yes. Yeah.
Is it Visa?
Okay. I believe somebody guessed American Express.
Okay, I said that too. Okay.
All right. Who guessed? I believe was it
It was
Mariana.
me. I said American
Oh.
Express.
Okay, you go with me.
Okay,
Okay,
you're-
we'll give you a point. It's okay.
You're up a point.
I like this
You're
game.
only
We can
-4.
keep playing.
You're
Okay,
only
hang
negative
on.
4 at this point.
The one thing I do know is Mosher did not say American Express. He
The one
said
thing I am
Diners
sure of.
Club. Oh
Revlon
my.
and Diners Club.
It is 2-2. Craig, Mariana, 2-2. Here we go. Are
Oh,
you
this
ready?
could win it. This could win it.
This could win it. Mark, you're right in the running. You're like real
I'm
close,
only
man.
6 point margin.
You are really, really, really close. Oh man, I don't want to do another credit. All right, we'll do this one. Oh, no one's gonna know that one. That one's hard.
Yes.
Okay, we'll do this. A diamond is forever.
Oh, come on.
Sales.
No,
Shane Company.
it's the De Beers Company.
The beers.
Yes,
Company.
Craig,
Craig,
with the win.
Craig wins.
Whoa.
De
Craig wins.
Beers. Wow.
Oh, okay.
Interesting fact that was created 73 years ago. Most recognized slogan this century, with 90% of Americans able to recognize it, except the people on this podcast.
I
That
said
is
sales.
excellent.
I don't know.
Beside
It was close.
outside of
Sales
the
is
Bible being the most influential, that
I
is
would say
worked so
just
well.
do it is the most recognizable
Oh,
brand
well, that's
slogan.
good,
I
too.
would go
Yeah.
with that.
Well,
Oh, that's the
a
American
sample
Dairy
that we give.
Association. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Just do it. The American. Oh yeah, just do it by the American Dairy Association. That's a really
Yeah.
good
Y'all
one.
didn't know that? See, I told
Oh
you
my
something you
God.
didn't know.
God,
Wow. Well, that was interesting. We're definitely going to do this again.
oh yeah.
Oh,
You guys got to come back. I need to win
Oh
these
my
points
God.
back. Yeah.
That
Got to
is
win them
just
back.
We need
Fantastic.
more people on though. We need to get a group of.
Right?
You mean we need
There we
Mosher
go.
removed, is what you're saying? Is that what you're
He's,
saying?
Can we just remove him from the
Yeah,
panel?
just,
No, he's here to make us look good.
yes.
Right, right.
That's
He's
why
the
I
only
bring
one
him
that's
everywhere.
well
That's
dressed.
why I
I
bring him.
didn't hear him.
What
why I
actually
bring him to
is
all
the
my
Revlon
meetings.
slogan? I don't even know what it is.
Oh,
What is the
I don't know.
Revlon?
That's a great point.
Okay, now you're making
Because
me do
Maybelline
work
is
here.
maybe she's born with it.
Correct.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Oh, see, that's
We
what
had
I
a-
was thinking.
Do you remember, Mark? You and I had a green beret on, or it was a Navy.
Oh, he's a
SEAL.
Navy SEAL. Yeah.
He was a Navy SEAL, and we went. Maybe she's born with it. He goes Maybelline, and I'm
Yeah.
like, wow. I'm
And
like,
this guy
they
had been in
they
like
don't
he'd
tease
been
you
in
to
like
do that.
battles he couldn't even talk about. He had been overseas and undercover and
Was this Chip Harris? Luther Chip Harris?
No,
No.
No.
buddy of
That's who
ours
I was
from-
thinking of too.
Because he was on our pod. Yeah, so he can't even show his face on screen. Like he.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's wanted by the Chinese government. So
Yeah.
whoa.
Mosher
That's
can't
pretty
show
heavy.
his face on. screen.
No, they're still trying to serve me papers, so I tried to lay low.
I'm looking. I don't have anything on Revlon. I'll find Revlon. I've got.
and this
I've
surprised
got
me because
Maybelline.
there are cosmetic companies like MAC, Sephora.
Yep.
Do they have tags? Little jingles? I don't
They
know.
all do. I mean, somebody
know.
had to. They had to pay some New York agency at least $30,000 for something.
Right.
Oh, yeah, somebody
You know what I
I
mean?
paid for something.
I'm
Like-
sure my teenage daughter who loves makeup tutorials would know.
There we
Oh,
go.
yeah.
I'm sure.
There's a good research
Absolutely.
piece.
I'm gonna loop her in next time we're on, so that
Yes,
I can
great
have her as a
re-
backup.
Great resource.
That's phenomenal. So I wanted to ask you guys a couple things before we wrap up. Thank you, first of all. This we'll get a panel discussion. We'll have you guys back on. But the change in tactics that we've seen, where Black Hat, before they were taken down, but Black Hat, where they breached a company, Media Link, I believe it was, and they were trying to, they're not even. It seems like they're not even like launching ransomware. They're really just going for the pure
Well, it's
exfiltration,
extortion.
fancy word for steal, and then just blackmail, right? And then they're
Yeah.
going to leak the data because it works, right? Just like
Mhm.
anything else, if it works, they're going to keep repeating it. But they, in the Media Link one, the last one, they went and they filed their own SEC
I
complaint
did see that.
Yep.
I
Yep.
did see that.
against Media Link,
Yep.
which to me, I was like, what? I'm like,
Mhm.
holy cow, that's amazing, right? And to me, we do so much in healthcare and so much in other places, and they have the walls of shame, the HHS. I'm like,
Mhm.
they're going to contact like healthcare, or like
They're
they're
going to
going to
start
contact
filing HIPAA
auditors now,
complaints.
aren't they?
Yeah.
Like, do you see that as a coming evolution of one of their tactics, or
It's-
was that kind of just an example of one extreme?
Craig's ready to go.
Can't wait to talk.
All right.
Well, look at American politics. I was thinking about that. It is a spectator sport now.
Mm-hmm.
Cybersecurity is a blood sport.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the tip. I mean, what happened there is just, expect a lot of this,
Yeah.
Yes.
right? Because we're going to explore this Hackerverse TV, and we're going to be showing all this stuff as part of a entertainment package is really what it is. But it's also a blood sport. It's like, no, we're on a stage, mother effer, and we're going to, we're sorry. And
okay.
no, it's game on,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We're playing for keeps, and who is playing for people that don't even live in this country? They're
Yeah.
going to have your neck,
Yeah.
and that's what that's what it's coming to. I'm surprised. I'm actually really impressed by the innovation. More than
I
anything,
was too.
I'm like,
I was too.
The word in
effing
Spanish
brilliant.
is cojones.
Yeah, there we go.
Cojones.
They've got
Yeah.
some cojones. I was like, wow.
Or chutzpah. Or
Chutzpah.
chutzpah.
They're marketing
Right?
professionals, just
Yeah.
waiting to be
Yeah.
born.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, but
I
I
recently posted a couple weeks ago just on, I really hate being told this is the way we've always done it. I hate it. It drives me batshit
Yeah, that's
crazy.
the like nails on a chalkboard. That's
Yes,
it.
and there is like no room for that in cybersecurity because the second you get comfortable, you've already lost. And this is an
Right.
example of that. Like they're constantly innovating to be able to steal data and be able to be ahead of us, and we need to be constantly innovating too. So we need to out hack the hackers. Like the best way to prevent it is to hire a better hacker.
Yep.
So anywho, yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see the evolution. Honestly, they're going to make us better at our craft.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point. Because I guess it was earlier this week. I don't know if it was Black Basta or one of them, that they didn't even go for the extortion initially, that they just dropped the hint that they're going after the clients that they stole the data of. Like they're going after the patients. And David,
Yeah.
we've seen that in the past with the one mental health recently. And then
Yeah,
yesterday,
it was not
Meow
Better
hit.
Health. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was not Better Health.
yesterday.
It was another mental health app. It was based over in Europe, and
Yep.
they breached, and they would not negotiate with them, and so they did deploy ransomware, but they didn't negotiate with them. So they actually went and took $500 from thousands of actual patients because it's mental health. Like you're using an
They
app,
didn't
you're
want the
telling them
information getting out.
everything. They had some video audio recordings that they could post on social media. I mean, it was pure blackmail.
Yeah.
And this is where it's very similar to what the cartel, what the mafia, what the Cosa Nostra does, right?
Well,
This
I
is
mean,
what it-
I know
this is
I've
what it is. Only they
heard
can
that
do
a
it
lot
at
of
scale.
Yeah,
These guys
a
can
lot
do it at
of
scale.
cartels are getting into cybercrime. Like, there's
Yes,
like
yeah.
it's too
I
hard
saw
to
that
move
the other
drugs.
day.
Where let's just steal
There
money
is.
online.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually saw an interview with the Crips. There's a group from the Crips that are doing a lot of the more of like the old Shadow Crew type stuff where they're buying the credit cards, doing
Yeah.
that because they're like, look, if I do this, if I get caught, it's 5 years federal pen. If
Yeah.
I go deal heroin, then I can do 20 to 25
Yep.
in a state pen. Like, okay, well, that's a challenge, right? Because
Yeah.
now you've got guys that their whole life is just pure criminal, and so that gets very dangerous.
I think I've met some of those guys at DEF CON.
Yes, it is quite scary.
You bump into a
They're
couple at
there.
the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy club.
As
Right,
we
right.
as we wrap up, I want to ask. There's a whole bunch more that I want to ask, but we're out of time. What is next for you guys? What's next for Kicker, for Hackerverse TV? What is that? What can people look for? Because
Go, Craig.
we will have you on and be involved any way you guys want. So
Yeah, I would love to do a 6 month and see how far we've come. Like, we've been pushing this boulder uphill for, it seems like, a long time. And that's what a startup is. It's like, okay, you have to live off Campbell's soup for the next 3 years.
And that's why you have to be passionate about it. You have to
Yeah.
feel it in your
Exactly.
soul.
That brings it all back. Yep.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Sorry,
Oh,
Craig. My
what
bad.
is a Hackerverse?
That ADHD
Hackerverse
kicked in real
TV.
quick.
Well, what's funny is, like anybody, we're poking around to find a way in. We're hacking the market, and we're getting some traction. We actually started getting some traction very little a year ago. And I keep Mariana. I told her like just a couple weeks ago. You know what? Looks like we're going to be successful in spite of ourselves.
Right.
Stuff's happening,
Yeah.
and it's and Mariana can probably put the understandable sentence around that.
Yeah, well, I mean, lots of exciting stuff. I think we're making a name for ourselves, particularly our focus is working on with, I would say, C to Series C cyber vendors. We won't say no to a Series D or beyond if they decide to come work with us, but that's really our sweet spot. And it's because these companies are having a really hard time breaking into the market. They have incredible technology, but they're not CrowdStrike, they're not Armis, they're not Palo Alto
Right.
Networks. And so we're giving them essentially a proving ground to be able to say, like, come look at us. Our shit's legit. We just signed a partnership agreement with the cybersecurity defense ecosystem. Julian Lee,
Speaking of
not
mafia.
sure if you, yeah, we call it the MSSP cartel. It's like 5,300 MSSPs in his organization. So
Wow.
they've been looking for a better way and a quicker way to evaluate and test and prove new software. They have like 40 specific vendors that they swear by, but they're like, hey, we know we need to have more than just 40. So they are going to be working with us. They're very interested in our World Hacker Games event. So essentially, we're bringing MMA rings for cybersecurity to the MSSP cartel and letting these vendors come in front of them and say, here we go. Here's our technology. One of our first customers was SpiderBat, who did World Hacker Games with us. And, the message we got from them was like, hey, it was incredible to be able to show in real time how our product works, because all these customers who had fallen off the radar were back. They're like, hey, I saw how this performed. We're really interested. Like, let's do this. Let's sign a contract. Awareness building. And so I think it's causing a lot of disruption. It's causing a lot of excitement. People are really interested. I think one of the things that I am really most excited about is changing the conversation around cybersecurity, making cybersecurity sexy. We need to we really need to be having different conversations. Like, we need more people working in the industry. We need more people understanding why this is important. I mean, thinking about like the new Julia Roberts movie, which we didn't even touch on, Leave the World Behind, which is about a cyber attack.
Yep.
So now people are like, oh shit, could this actually happen? It's like, yes,
This
we've
could be
all been
real.
saying this.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that's one of the things that I'm most excited about, is like fundamentally changing the conversation that we have as an industry and making it exciting. So like, we really want to be able to be the ones that like bridge the gap between like education and entertainment. So edutainment, MMA ring for
absolutely.
cybersecurity, come hack our shit, and
I love it.
That's exactly right, and that's why
yeah.
we have this podcast. I mean, that's exactly
It's
what
like
we're
you're really
trying to
good at
do.
marketing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm over here
No, but I mean,
jotting down
that's so
phrases
true,
like,
because-
okay, MMA, I got that. Okay. Marvel, we are Marvel. Okay.
I
Yeah.
mean, I honestly think that part of the reason I've been able to be successful is because like I came in and I didn't understand anything. And now I can like break it down and be like, here's how normal people talk about this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
there
You're
you go.
translating it.
That's
That's
it.
what we're trying to do, is
Oh
just
my God, that's why
translate
you're so
cyber.
effective. Yes.
Yeah, translate it into things that everybody understands, because the more you normalize it, the more you do that, because every single person that gets online is involved in cybersecurity. They just don't realize it.
Yeah.
They still think it's IT's problem. And first of all, by the way, IT is not cybersecurity. Like
Yeah.
it's
Right.
a totally different group. So that we have to educate people on that too. So
Yes.
thank you guys so much. This was so
This
fun.
was cool.
This
Thank
was
you.
Yes.
excellent.
Craig, we're on
we-
next
want a
time. Brand
rematch.
okay,
want a
I know.
definitely
Rematch.
have you on again.
The MMA ring for marketing.
That is
Yes.
fantastic. No, I absolutely love it. Yeah, and I would love to maybe I want to get you guys on a panel. We're gonna have some like webinar series coming up, and so we will be
Cool.
discussing that. The webinar series again is not going to be a bunch of PowerPoints and really boring. It's going to be here's some scenarios or here's what's in the news. What are you guys seeing in the industry? How are people
Right,
defending?
right.
How are people adapting? Like,
Yep.
and then how does that relate to the SMB space or to this space? Like,
Yep.
what does this mean for owners in those spaces or leaders in those spaces or CFOs in those spaces who don't understand their only experience with cybersecurity is their stuff's not breached. They have to change their password once in a while and they get a big bill and they're like, I don't understand it. We're like, there's a lot there. So let's
As
keep
my
that
therapist would
communication
say,
going.
there's a lot to unpack.
Oh, yeah, there is.
It's
So
true.
thank you everybody
some
for
baggage.
joining, and we will mix
Thank
this
you.
in post-production and be out, and it'll be released as an audio episode and a video episode, as well
Awesome.
as the individual little clips for social media sharing. So thank you everybody for joining. Awesome. Thank you. And
Thank you.
have blessed holidays, everybody. We will
Thank
see
you.
guys.
Well, that wraps this up. Thanks for joining, everybody. Hope you got value out of digging deeper behind the scenes of security and cybercrime today. Please don't forget to help keep this going by subscribing free to our YouTube channel at Cybercrime Junkies Podcast and download and enjoy all of our past episodes on Apple and Spotify podcasts so we can continue to bring you more of what matters. This is Cybercrime Junkies.